Hello everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. And today I'm coming to you from Orangeburg, South Carolina. For my current subscribers, thank you very much for joining me again for another video. Today's going to be a little bit different. While I was out filming what I thought was only an abandoned retail structure, it has an amazing history behind it. And unfortunately, that amazing history is actually one of the most horrific events in American history. For those of you that have not been with the channel before, thank you very much for clicking on. I greatly appreciate your time, and let's begin. The Orangeburg Massacre occurred on February 8, 1968, after 3 nights of escalating racial tension over efforts by South Carolina State College students and others to desegregate the all-star bowling lanes, which we're about to see in this video. 3 students died, and 27 others were wounded on the campus of South Carolina State. South Carolina Highway Patrolmen fired on a crowd at the university, killing Henry Smith, Samuel Hammond, and Delano Middleton. This tragedy was the first of its kind on any American college campus. Let's begin the video. Alright everybody, here we go. Now again, for my current subscribers, you know that typically I'm coming to you with dead and dying retail, abandoned structures, some arcade stuff, obviously a lot of pinball stuff because I am a pinball guy. But guys, this is a very serious video. I was fully unaware as I filmed this structure that this was a very historic place for America. So you'll see here African American Civil Rights Grant Program, the preservation of all-star bowling lanes. Now I've actually driven past this strip mall several times since I've moved to Charleston because I would go into Orangeburg actually, and I've filmed the Prince of Orange Mall. I've also walked around downtown Orangeburg. I'm just fascinated by all of the buildings that used to be in amazing condition and unfortunately are in very bad condition in Orangeburg and some of the surrounding areas in South Carolina. Now you see here the building permit concerning the roof, the structure and the ceiling. So I believe the roof has been fully replaced. As we look in here, you'll see that the bowling lanes are absolutely amazing. I mean, they're stuck in the 60s, but unfortunately they are very, very moldy at this point, and a lot of the air coming out of the structure through there where that I-beam was, very moldy. So anybody, if you do plan on coming here to film, please make sure if you do get sick around mold or start to sneeze or allergic, please make sure that you do wear a respirator. We are not going to be going into the building. I am not allowed to do that. I did not ask for permission. I literally had no idea that this building was being restored. The last time I had driven past, it just looked like an abandoned strip mall, and I didn't even know that there was a bowling alley here. So I pulled in and started filming, and I was in absolute amazement. Now, I didn't realize that it said African American Civil Rights. I was like, well, maybe this was a place that had famous black bowlers. Maybe there were some events that took place here that were positive in some manner. And then when I got home after filming this video, I did a little bit of research, and lo and behold, the Orangeburg Massacre. I'm like, wait a second, wow, oh my God. And so I started doing a little bit more research, and being somebody from the North, yes, I obviously understand the Civil Rights Movement, I understand some of the history, but not being from the South, I really didn't have an understanding or a grasp of how these events took place and how recent they really are. So as we look into Black's jewelry here, it is just a total mess. I assume the inside of the structure is really not savable. I hope that they're going to be able to put a roof or a ceiling on this and save the rest of the strip mall. But guys, look in here at the mess. And that rebar And the painted window sign, that is the same as it's been since the 60s and probably going back a little bit further. Please do some research on the Orangeburg Massacre. You are going to see some articles and some videos. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people know about the Orangeburg Massacre, and that's one of the reasons why I'm bringing this video to you today. And so for those of you that are not my subscribers currently and haven't been on my channel before, typically what I go out and film is going to be dead malls, dead and dying retail. We talk about Kmart, we talk about Sears, we talk about arcades, what it was like to go to the mall back in the day, and we really don't have those types of places anymore. We're losing that through online sales, also way too many malls being built. So if any of that does interest you, definitely subscribe to my channel. So as we move forward here into some of the other stores, I mean, you can just see how Mother Nature has taken over. Obviously, the roofs have leaked so bad, and the mold is just so bad. But the brickwork, the old glass windows, the overhangs, this is beauty to me. I love what used to be. The fact that people used to come here and shop. This is where people would meet. This is where people would hang out. From the community of Orangeburg, and I'm sure certainly around. Between Columbia and Orangeburg, there's really not a lot. So folks that maybe lived in between probably came to Orangeburg back in the day. And for those of you that are from Orangeburg or maybe have lived here through the years, let me know your experiences here about this strip mall. What was here? I do know that there was an appliance store, there was a furniture store. I believe also the front structure that we're about to see was actually an A&P that's up near or maybe an IGA, I forget which brand of grocery store. But as we see, there was a police officer up there. And again, we were just filming. We weren't trying to get into the structure or anything like that. We're never here to break and enter or take anything. That is one of the URBEX codes. But absolutely amazing history here, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Take a look at all of the cobwebs and everything. I guess the glass probably got kicked in by people. You just see the mess, unfortunately, that has built up through the years, and everything is decayed and just rotting. Very, very sad situation here. So here is this roll-up door that I assume was probably part of the A&P or the IGA, and then I think it became a furniture store at some point. Now there's also a bingo hall in the back corner of the strip mall, so maybe that was the IGA and the A&P, so we'll see that at the end of the video. But just beautiful to see. Also the cut-ins of the entryways. You just don't see this in stores anymore. It's not part of the design of stores today. You get the angled glass coming in. You've got that nice entrance. Also, we'll see in a moment. Look at that. Look at the roof, the bow truss roof here. Just awesome. See, this is the type of structure that I would think would be the bowling alley, actually, because I'm used to bowling alleys and also skating rinks having that type of bow truss structure back in New Jersey for a lot of the places that we used to have when I was growing up. Take a look at the cracked tile that was used for the entryway there. And there we see, looks like a lot of furniture, a lot of stuff that's, I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it was a rummage store, maybe it was a thrift store at some point before it closed up. There we see some of the appliances, but there's still a lot of life here, especially in this structure with the bow roof. Now, as I started to move forward, before going around the corner of the structure to the front near where the VFW is, just getting a shot back here, I was like, hey, you know what, let me go and get the sign that is up there for Triangle Bowling. And as I go and take the shot of the sign, again, I was fully unaware that just later that evening, I'd be pulling up pictures of some major civil rights events that were happening here concerning the bowling alley, and how the bowling alley sign actually used to look. And whether it be the National Guard or the state police of South Carolina and protesters, they were all right here back in 1968, and obviously protecting and or voicing concerns. just really, really sad that this is part of American history. And of course, the 3 gentlemen that lost their lives and the almost 30 that were injured during the event on South Carolina State. Now, as you take a look at the front there, I assume there would have been a nice marquee sign back in the day. And again, you see the angled glass. Well, I guess the glass has been punched out on one side. And let's take a look inside one more time. Oh, I love that roof. It'd be great here. Have an arcade, have maybe some type of little brewery, maybe even, again, I know they have a library on the other side of town, but it's just, these old structures just bring so much thought about what was, and really some creative flow, really happens for me when I go out and film these structures and really, see what we used to have in this country, and we just don't have anymore. It's leaving us all of this great craftsmanship, all of this great design. It's just not part of what we have today. And then we're going to walk over to the corner here, and we'll see that there is a new, I think it's a bar restaurant that's opened up, and this used to be the VFW building here, so the Brooklyn Restaurant and Lounge, but we're going to walk up here and we're going to see that this building actually goes back to 1962, and it was the VFW Post, as you see, 2779. And then what we're going to do is we're going to walk back, go for a little stroll on the sidewalk, and really nice lampposts also. And please stay tuned, by the way, for some upcoming videos. I am going to do a full walk of Orangeburg. I've got a lot of video. There are some amazing old stores in downtown Orangeburg that I want to show you guys that are literally time capsules. Just beyond like mind-boggling how they were just there one day and then they're not. And there's stuff inside rotting. There's a video store, there's a shoe stores, there are the old department stores like Cress and J.C. Penney's. And for those of you that don't know what a Cress is, Cress was kind of like a Macy's or a Kaufman's for those of you from the north. I know Macy's really didn't make it that big down here, but it's almost like a Belk. And so unfortunately Cress went out of business, I believe, back in the early 80s or late 70s. And there you see on the other end of the strip mall, there's a church there with the green sign. Now to the right of the green sign, there's a party event center. Parking lots hanging in there. Unfortunately, it's cracked up pretty bad. But I've actually seen parking lots with a lot worse potholes, so it was actually decent to drive on it. But let's take a look at the Bingo City for a moment before we close out. And again, guys, let me know, was this the A&P or IGA? Was this the grocery store? It just kind of had that vibe about it. But I will say the Bingo City sign itself is really old. It's got the old school incandescent marquee lights around it, and it kind of looks like it's a sign from maybe the mid 70s, late 70s. It's definitely old. And then you see the newer signs that are on the building there that are kind of like decals. Now I did try to look inside. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to see anything past that first wall there. I'm going to do another shot. I'm not a bingo person. I don't really know what the bingo halls are all about here in South Carolina. Growing up in New Jersey, we had Atlantic City, so that's what I kind of grew up around, and luckily I'm not a gambler. Not that bingo is a gamble or not, I'm not sure. Sometimes it's just for charity, so I'm not sure how the bingo again works here in South Carolina. But guys, as we close out the video, I want to thank you so much for joining me, and please join me in the next one. Bye bye.